I'm Bekah and welcome to your 40-minute full body class with Bekah Pilates. This is a mixed ability class, so don't worry if you're just a beginner. There'll be modifications throughout. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we're going to start by having the feet together. We're then going to turn the toes out and then the heels out. So we're into this hip width stance. From here, we're going to imagine a helium balloon at the top of our head, growing us nice and tall out the back of our neck. We're then going to roll the shoulders back and down. And as we do this, we're going to breathe steadily in and out. And we're thinking of drawing the bottom of our shoulders down into the back pocket of our jeans. Nice big circles, up towards the ears, down into those back pockets. And then you're going to set them in place. We're going to soften the ribs and start to connect in these tummy muscles. I want you to think about a belt, and it's like you're trying to put it on the last notch, so that tummy draws in nice and tight. Hands on the hips, soften the knees. You're going to tilt your pelvis, which we're going to think of as a bucket of water, backwards and forwards. You're going to use your tummy to do it, so your bottom stays nice and relaxed. You're going to keep the upper body still. So forwards and back. And now I want you to decrease the range of movement. Gradually get smaller and smaller. And you're going to come to the midpoint between the two extremes. Hold there, stand up, and make sure that tailbone is nice and long towards the floor. And lifting up our pelvic floor, like we're zipping up front to back. That's your neutral posture and what we're going to maintain throughout the class. Now from here, I want you to interlock your fingers, bring them towards your chest and push away. Bring those shoulder blades around the ribs. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, reach up, trying to press the palms into the ceiling. Disconnect the fingers and open the arms out to the side. Let's go again. Interlock. Push away. Grow tall and open wide. You're trying to keep the balance in the front and back of your feet equally. Up we go. Keep the rib cage soft. Open out. This is your chest stretch. As we stretch the spine forwards first, and then we reach up and open that chest. And now I want you to add a rise. So be careful connecting those tummy muscles to help you balance. As you lift up, lift those heels off the floor and reach to the ceiling. Disconnect the fingers and open wide. Let's do that again. In and out. Slowly up, lifting the heels off the floor. Let the ankles wobble. It's okay. It means they're doing their job, trying to stabilize you. Exhale away. Inhale. Exhale, lift and rise. Open out and down. Last one. In. Really bring those shoulders around the ribs. As you lift, lift, lift. Hold. And then open the arms to the side. Excellent. You're going to lift one heel and bend one knee. And then you're going to swap. This is a walking motion. I want your opposite arm to the bent leg to come forwards. We're aiming to keep the hips nice and steady. So don't go sticking that hip out to one side. Squeeze the bottom and make sure you're going up and down rather than side to side. Keep breathing steadily for me. And let's get a little bit faster. Imagine you're in a Smartie tube So you can only bob up and down. Let's warm those feet and knees up. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, well done. Now we're going to turn the toes out, heels out, and toes out once more to come into a wider stance. You want the toes at 10 to 2. You want the heels wider than the hips, and your tailbone nice and long. Breathing in, we're going to squat down, and lift up, and down. We're thinking of keeping the chest up, and the knees point out over the second toe. You can put your hands on the insides to make sure those knees don't roll in. Keep breathing nice and steadily. As you stand up, squeeze those sit bones together. Even as you go low in the squat, I want you to grow tall out the top of your head. 3 more. Last one. And now you're going to go down nice and low. And we're going to hold. We're going to pretend we're in a low ceilinged room, so we can't lift our head higher. And all we're going to do is lift one heel off the floor and pop it back down. And then the other. Now we want the knee to lift as the heel lifts, but we want to stay low in this squat. Don't go creeping up, stay low. Don't allow the body to move, stay fixed in place. Add the arms in, so bring the arms up. Open the arms out and back in. Out as we lift, in as we lower. You should start to feel those legs waking up now, but stay nice and low. That's it. One more to each side. Straighten those knees, give those legs a bit of a wriggle. Well done. I want you to just bring your legs a little bit closer together. So we're still turned out and we're still wider than hip width apart. You're going to lower down the middle of the legs. You're going to transfer your weight over to one side, straightening the opposite leg and pointing the toe. Come back to the middle and transfer to the other side. Let's repeat. Stay low. So we're working the ankle on the leg that's bent, and you're drawing up from the kneecap to straighten the other leg. If you're happy, stay here. If you want a bit more, transfer the weight. You're going to try and lift the leg, tap it to the floor, and return. You're going to do all of this without moving the upper body or lifting off the supported leg. Stay low. Squeeze the bottom. Exhale to lift. Inhale to transfer. One more to each side. Last one, come on. That's it. Straighten those knees. Walk those feet back in. I'm going to face lengthways down my mat, and I'm going to come into a roll down to get us onto the floor. We bring the chin to the chest. We allow the shoulders to hang forwards, and we roll down the spine, bone by bone over one another. We come to halfway, so our hands are at our knees, and our pelvis is still nice and still. Breathe in, and roll back up. Restack that spine. Open the shoulders out and lift the head. Breath in. Exhale,
only halfway. Try and keep that pelvis still. Put the hands on the knees. Soften the knees into a squat, like you're sitting on a chair. You're going to reach the tailbone and head away. And then curl everything right in and curve that back. Arch away again into a cat and cow. And curve in. Last one.
This is just to mobilise the spine.
And then you're going to get that pelvis nice and level and roll back up.
Breath in and down we go again.
We're going to go down to the floor. Hands on the floor if you can, but keep the weight forwards in the feet. Breath in, and you're going to roll back up. Squeeze the bottom and uncurl the spine.
One more. Breath in.
Exhale and roll down. Let the arms hang. Keep the chin tucked in. And then you're going to soften your knees. Walk your hands forwards and come onto all fours. You can just move your head cushion out the way and line yourself up so that your knees are below your hips and your hands are further in front of you than your shoulders. You want your back to be nice and long. So you want the crown of the head towards the wall in front, tailbone to the wall behind. And you want to find that neutral posture where your tummy is engaged and your back is flat. From here, you're going to curl the toes under. You're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, keep the elbow creases facing one another and soft. You're going to dig the toes into the floor and hover the knees. Breathe in to hold and float them back down. Breathe in. Exhale. Dig the toes into the floor. Hover the knees. Inhale, hold, and lower down. This is working your quads and your tummy muscles. Breathe in. Exhale, lift. You're aiming to keep the back nice and flat. So the bottom doesn't want to come very high. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Keep the back nice and long. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Keep the shoulders supported around the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale, lift. And down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, float those knees up. Keep the back nice and long. Exhale, lower down. Okay, we're going to progress this now. So as we float the knees up, we hold them there. We extend one foot behind us, then the other into a plank. Step the knees back in and float them down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale to hold. Step one foot, then the other. And then bring those feet back in. Knees under the hips and float down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Step out. Aim for a nice flat body shape. Bring the knees back in and float down. Good job. Keep going. Exhale, lift. Step those feet away. In and lower down. Don't let those shoulders drop as we do the last one. And float down. Curl those toes back so the tops of your feet are now on the floor. We're going to go into some swimming. So your opposite arm and leg are going to work. We're going to extend one foot across the floor. Keep the big toe on the floor. The opposite arm reaches towards the front of your mat. Breathe in. Leave the foot on the floor but lift the arm to shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale, turn the palm to face the floor and bring the arm out to the side, just to 90 degrees. Inhale, hold. Exhale, return and lower. Inhale. Exhale, float the arm out,
lift it up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, turn and open the arm to the side. Exhale to return and lower down. Inhale to prepare. Extend the arm. Now I don't want your shoulder to dip. Just because the arm is moving, your shoulders still need to stay nice and level and equally supported. Make sure your supporting arm is still soft so those elbows don't hyperextend. One more on this arm. Now we're going to continue with that move. So extend the arm, lift and open, hold. And I want you to squeeze your bottom and hover the leg off the floor. Lower it down, return the arm. Let's go again. Inhale, hold. Squeeze the bottom to lift and lower the leg. Excellent. Inhale, exhale, open, lift that leg, squeeze the bottom and return. One more of these. Good. Now float that arm down. You're going to lift the leg. Keep the back long and you're aiming to use your bottom so you don't move the rest of your back. We're going to repeat the arm motion. Keep the leg nice and up. Keep yourself really still. Exhale as you extend the arm away. Inhale as you return. One more. Float that leg down, bring the leg in. Excellent. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So, extend the leg away. Keep the toe on the floor. Lift the arm. You're going to open out to the side and return. So we lift, open and return. Exhale, lift and open. We're aiming to be able to balance a tray of drinks across the back. Last one. Now we add in that leg just for 5. Lift and open. Lift the leg, lower and return the arm. Make sure it's your bottom that's doing the work and your back isn't arching. Keep breathing steadily and keep those shoulders supported. Last one. Excellent. Now, final challenge, just for 4. Lift the leg, lift the arm, and then open it to the side and return. Keep the leg nice and balanced. Last one. Lower the arm, lower the leg, and bring everything in. Keep the toes together, and I want you to sit back, bottom on your heels, stretch the arms forward into a child's pose. Forehead to the mat and reach those fingers forwards. We're going back up into that position. So bring yourself up, separate the feet. Now we're going to do that with that leg pulling prone motion. So we're going to hover the knees off the floor. Now we're going to do that again, but this time you're going to extend the leg and the arm and lift them at the same time. The arm opens out to the side and you're going to bring the hand in to tap the outside of the knee, extend and return. And in. Now the option is just to stay with the level we did before. We're
stays on the floor. And you just bring the hand under and out. Otherwise, lift that leg and keep it lifted. Last one. Float everything down and return. We go on to the other side. So hand extended, lift. Open the arm out, bring the knee in, tap the outside of the knee and extend the arm out. Again, if this is too much, that's totally okay. You want to just pop the leg onto the floor and let the arm do the work. We've got 2 more. Keep the back nice and flat. Lower the leg, lower the hand and come in. We're now going to lie down on our tummies. So I have a little head cushion. You can bring in your folded towel. Pop that in front of you and lie yourself down onto the mat. Forehead into the cushion, arms by the sides. You want the bottom to be nice and relaxed. You want the pubic bone pressed into the floor and a little gap underneath the tummy. We're going to go and do some posture work. So we breathe in, we exhale, we float the hands up, pulling the shoulder blades down towards the back pockets. The arms turn to face one another and come so the thumbs are about the back of your thighs. We inhale and then we lower down. Inhale, reach with the middle finger, arm extends away. Inhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale, reach, open those collarbones nice and wide and float the arms down. If you're happy, stay here. If you want a bit more, as you float the arms up and back, you float the head off the mat. Lower everything down. As you float the head, you're staying looking down at the mat like you're lifting your face out of a mould. Or looking down at a mirror on the floor. You're not lifting up very far, but it's just enough for the breastbone and collarbones to come off. Inhale, exhale. Now you shouldn't feel a pinching under your back. If you feel a pinch in the lower back, pause the video and grab yourself a cushion to pop under your lower tummy. That'll help switch off this back. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, open that collarbone, smile at the floor and lower down. Inhale, last one, lift up, reach those middle fingers down towards the ankles and float everything down. Excellent. Pop your hands under the shoulders and bring yourself up onto your knees so you can come over and lie on your side. From here, I'm going to put my little head cushion under my elbow, just for a bit of extra support and padding. We're going to lie on our side. So on our hip bone, the elbow is in line with the hips, forearm forwards or slightly to the side. My legs are stacked and I'm lifting my rib cage and waist away from the floor. So there's a nice gap between the floor, my waist and then my shoulder. You want your elbow directly under the shoulder. We're going to extend this top leg. So the top leg extends out. The bottom leg stays on the floor and my toes are touching the back of the mat along with my bottom. From here, the inside of my extended foot is into the floor and I'm just going to lift up and lower back down. Breathe in, exhale, squeeze the bottom and lift. And lower. I'm going to repeat that with an arm motion. So the arm comes up and over, comes back down as I lower my body down. Keep the top shoulder away from the ear.
open and down. You want your hips square to the front and lower down. Inhale, exhale to lift. Inhale, hold, exhale to return. And if this is enough, stay doing this. If you want a bit more, lift the top leg, lower and return. Inhale, exhale, up we go. Lift that leg, lower and return. Squeeze the underneath bottom to help lift those hips. And remember to keep the shoulders and ribcage lifted. And down. If you're happy, stay at that level. If you want an extra challenge for the final 4, we're going to lift the leg as we lift the hips off the floor. So we lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good. Keep nice and straight and work that shoulder. Excellent. Final one. And down. Excellent. Well done. Sit yourself up and just give those shoulders a little bit of a wriggle. And we're going to put one hand on the floor. So you want the opposite hand to the one that was just being our support. Reach up, keep the legs crossed, walk the fingertips away and reach over. Inhale, and reach back up. We're going to go the same way again. Up we come. Walk the fingers away and over. Open and back up. Reach in tall. Walk the fingers. Over we go. Keep the breastbone facing the front. And up we come. We're going to go to the other side. Reach tall. Walk the fingers away and reach over. Grow nice and tall and float down. Up we come. And reach over. You want to keep the breastbone facing the front. Up we come. Reach. Inhale. Exhale, reach up. And back over. Grab my cushion and I'm going to use it to support that elbow as you come over onto the other side. So feet and bottom in line at the back of the mat. Elbow under shoulder. Elbow in line with the hips. I'm going to extend my top leg away. And I'm just going to lift those hips and lower them down. Keep the rib cage lifted. I'm going to add in an arm movement. So we lift. Arm goes over. Lower everything back to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze that underside bottom to help you lift. And lower. Last one, lift. And lower. If you're happy, continue to do that. If you want a bit more, lift up, lift the leg, lower and float down. Keep breathing. Push into the supporting leg on the floor and keep that rib cage lifted. Keep everything square to the front. Now if that's enough for you, continue to do this. The final few, we're going to try and lift the leg and the arm as we lift the hips. So we lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale to lower. That's it. Keep going. Nice long line. Last one. Good job. Okay, come in. We're going over onto our backs now. So you want your cushion or towel just away for the moment as we peel ourselves down onto the mat. Carefully roll yourself down. You want the back of the neck nice and long. You want your feet hip width apart, and you're going to find that neutral spine with a tiny gap under the back and nice flat tummy between the belly button and the pubic bone. We're going to roll up into a shoulder bridge. To do this, you curve the tailbone under, trying to get the pubic bone towards your nose, and peel the spine off the floor. Up at the top, the ribs need to be lower than the hips. Breathe in to hold, and then melt back down, rolling all the way down, bone by bone to the floor. Breathe in. As we roll up, we squeeze the sit bones together and lift so we're onto the back of our shoulders, and then we roll back down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll down. This works our tummies as well as our bottoms, and is really good training for leveling out those hips and glutes. It also mobilises the spine. On the next one, you're going to hold at the top. Roll up. You're going to lower the hips slightly and then lift them back up. So relax the glutes and then squeeze to get those hips up higher. We're doing a hip thrust and we're only coming halfway down before we come back up. Keep those knees apart. And don't forget to lift that pelvic floor even as we're in this position. Stay up nice and high. Inhale and exhale. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to release. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Arms come above the shoulders and are going to float down over to the floor. We're going to press the thumbs into the floor as we peel the back down. Pressing each bone like we're squashing grapes to make a glass of wine into the floor. Inhale. Roll back up, section by section. Reach the fingers along the floor and then peel back down. By pressing the thumbs into the floor, we give ourselves a nice stretch down the shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, roll up. Inhale to hold. Exhale to float back down. Bring those arms up and float them down by your side. Pop your cushion or towel underneath your head and we're going to go into some abdominal work. So here, we're going to connect in the ribs and the hips as though there are springs joining them. We lift one leg into tabletop, so it's a 90-90 position, and we're going to maintain that leg. We're going to squeeze even tighter in the tummy, drawing the ribs to the hips as we float the other leg into tabletop. There is always the option to keep one leg on the floor throughout these moves. From here, we squeeze the legs together if we are both in tabletop. Float the arms above the head. Inhale. Exhale. Arms go overhead towards the floor and then peel back up. Keep the tummy nice and tight. We're just working on dissociating parts of our body to show that they can move independently. Now with the arms, we're floating them down to the floor. Pause, open them out slightly to the side and curve them back above the shoulders. So as though we're drawing mini pizza on the ceiling. Mini pizza with the centre cut out the middle. Keep that tummy nice and tight and think of lifting that pelvic floor. Exhale away. Inhale, return. Just a few more. Keep those tummy muscles working. Squeeze the legs together and that will help switch those tummy muscles on. 2 more. Good job. Last one. Keep the arms above the head and float one leg down to the floor. Arms are staying up over the head and the leg that's in the air is just going to extend to try and touch a light switch on the wall. And return. The opposite arm is going to extend over the head as this leg reaches towards the wall. Return, tap the inside of the knee and go again. The other arm stays perfectly still. As we extend the limbs, we're trying to keep the distance between the ribs and our hips the same. 3, 2, 1. Connect those ribs and hips together. Float the other leg back up. Pop the other leg back onto the floor. And we're going to repeat on the other side. So 2 with just the leg. Reach and return. Reach and return. Inhale. Exhale, reach the arm overhead. Tap the inside of the knee. Return. Exhale. Exhale to reach. Keep those ribs and hips soft. Keep that pelvic floor lifted. Tap the knee. The other arm stays perfectly still. Last one. Reach and extend. Tap that knee. Arm back up. Float the legs up. And hug them into your chest. Give yourself a bit of a rock. Well done. I want you to float one leg and then the other down to the floor and reach the arms out to the side. Glue the legs together from ankle to upper thigh. Breathe in. You're going to float the knees over to one side and your head looks in the opposite direction. One foot will come off the floor completely and then you peel back to the start position. Breathe in. Exhale. Twist the knees. Keep the shoulders on the floor and just enjoy that stretch in the tummy and mobilization of the back. Inhale. Exhale over. Inhale. Exhale, return. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Return. Inhale. Exhale. And you're going to do one more to each side. Inhale. Over you go. Try and peel back so the ribs, waist and then hips come onto the floor. Excellent. Carefully roll onto your side and bring yourself up to a seated position. From this seated position, we're going to come over onto our hands and knees. Back into that first position. From here, you're going to lift the hips nice and high into a downward dog. Press the chest back towards the thighs, and you're going to try and walk the heels. Keep the bottom lifted and arms and shoulders stretched. If this is difficult, you can keep the knees bent to help you get that straight line. From here, you're going to transfer your weight through into a plank position.
You're going to bring one leg forwards, turn it to the side, lower down, and wriggle that back leg away into a pigeon pose. And you're just going to fold over. Breathe in and out. Relax over the leg. Some deep breaths. Good. Curl the back toes under. Bring the hands either side of the knee. And you're going to use those arms, push yourself up, squeeze the tummy, come back into that plank position. Push back into that downward dog. And as you transfer forwards, we bring the other leg through into that pigeon pose. This allows us just to stretch out the hips and the bottom a little bit. Fold down over the leg. Inhale. You're allowed to give yourself a wriggle to find the comfortable stretch. Last breath. Curl the toes under, hands either side. Bring your hips up, feed that leg back through. Stretch. Walk the feet once more, and then you're going to soften those knees and walk the feet towards the hands. Plant the heels down and uncurl that body to come into a standing position. From here, we're just going to do some big shoulder rolls once more to open out those shoulders. We roll one shoulder and reach it away. The head comes down to the opposite shoulder and return. Repeat on the other side. Stretch out that neck and come down. Just a quick check of this alignment again. So you want to grow tall out the back of the neck. Your pelvis should be in a nice neutral position with that tailbone long, tummy nice and connected, pelvic floor lifted. Weight should be equal under the front and back of the feet. Two big deep breaths. Breathe in and out. In and out. And then give yourselves a big pat on the back and clap. Well done, and that is the end of our full body class.